Good morning, welcome to a morning review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Wednesday the 24th of June. Okay, looking at the Eurodollar first, and yesterday saw us in quite a strong sell-off phase. It's quite interesting that as we get closer to the potential solution on the Greek situation, that now instead of seeing the sort of rallies that most of us probably expect in terms of a relief rally, we're actually seeing selling off as there's realization that the European group will be spending more money on Greece, because then they have to pump money in to help the situation. So it seems to be doomed if you do and doomed if you don't at the moment. So let's look at how Euro continues. At the moment it's sold off. It's put this really bearish pivot swing in on the daily perspective. If we do get a break of the lows of that, well, that would often, these pivot swings often trigger bigger moves. Not always in chop, but when they're in chop it's sort of a little bit more variable, but we can see sort of bigger moves to the downside, so we'll be watching that. However, at the moment, short-term wise, we're seeing this bit of a rally going on, maybe into the 4-hourly 8 moving average. Maybe if it can get any sort of momentum, it could push back up and regain a lot of the losses made yesterday. Looking from an hourly perspective, it looks pretty bearish. It's certainly a bear flag at this juncture. We've got the chance of hitting the daily pivot just above us at 112.17 sort of region, but that then runs back into previous lows there, so it's got support around, or resistance around that area, should I say. So where from here? Well, as I say, if it starts pushing up and gets past the resistance, where we've got the key areas to be looking for really is that 50 MA, which is a possibility, or the daily R1, and the daily R1 as a secondary sort of target. So downside, if we start breaking the trend, well, really I'm looking back towards the monthly pivot and the daily S1. So there's a decent target to the downside there if it starts breaking downwards. At the moment the trend would favour the downside, but we know quite often after quite big sell-off days we get some sort of a rebound, even if it's a dead cat bounce. In other words, breaking up, getting traders back into the trade, and then boom, off it goes again. So watching for that carefully. Okay, looking at cable and finding some support on the 4-hourly 50 moving average here. Let's just run through the 8 a little bit. This into our lower bands. It's then now currently sitting at potential resistance at the 8, the 4-hourly 8. So it's sort of run from pillar to post in a sense. At the moment it's looking relatively bearish in this sort of picture that we're seeing here. Again, a pivot swing was put in yesterday. A break of yesterday's lows, to me, really signifies further selling effectively. Looking at the bigger picture here, near-term picture here rather, and areas where we could be, I mean, if we continue pushing with this push upwards, we've got the 50, hourly 50, not a great deal of distance away from us, and certainly a possibility. And we've got the R1 just above that, which again is a possibility at that 158 number, around pretty close to a round number there. If the selling continues here, and it's a bear flag territory, if the selling continues, well, we may get some more support back onto the 200, but once that goes, I'll be looking for these prior lows in the region of the prior lows from the 17th of June, and maybe the S1 there, and maybe beyond. Okay, that's the pound, the dollar, yen. Yen again yesterday pushed up some more, so there's some more dollar strength really coming through these markets. It wasn't just weakness in the euro, and certainly not just in the pound either. I mean, the pound got dragged with these things, but the focus seems to be back on the potential stronger dollar again, as we sort of move from one theme to the other. But this 4-hour market says it all really for me in the yen. It's sort of spiking up one way, spiking down the next way, sort of a spinning top in the middle, stroke almost doji, then a hammer, then a shooting star that we're sort of sitting in now. and it really is a period of indecision as we come down to the 60-minute. Well, it doesn't look quite so bad, but it looks, as I say, much worse on the 4-hourly, which is effectively becoming a bit of a wedge pattern that's forming there on the 4-hourly time frame. 60 minutes really, as I say, it's possibly a little bit clearer. Looking at the potentials here, you see the break of the lows here. Well, it may come back towards the 50 S1 area. Any sort of break to the upside there, well, we're looking at prior highs again here, or near-term highs of 124. So we'll be pushing up towards that sort of region. Maybe a bit of resistance there at 124.29 as we hit the R1. But when you come back out, it's this is the near-term candle we're looking at. If we do get a break of that, we could be back up towards that 126 region, or moving towards that sort of region. Okay, and finally the Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar here, really horrible in terms of the up down movement. I was looking at it on the 4-hourly perspective of the yen. It's a bit like it on the daily with the Aussie dollar. It's in a tight range. However you look at it, we're trading in a relatively tight range. The days are well, at least there's trends within the days, to be fair to it. But at the moment, again, as I say, getting this same sort of spiky area. Outperformed the other currencies yesterday somewhat, and managed to push back up towards its daily pivot eventually after selling off in the earlier morning. We saw the rally and retracement. At the moment, it's looking, well, to me, I would be looking to sell on the break of this trend effectively and look down for the S1 area, and maybe even, well, possibly towards the S2, those prior lows there, I think around about 76, 64 sort of region, maybe, if it starts selling or moving towards that region. Any sort of significant rallies, well then really you're looking at the Monday highs, really. Maybe if we can push up to as far as that, be looking at the 77.90 area. At the moment, to me, it's a difficult one to read because of its choppiness. There's no real significant trend here. There's a few higher lows and higher highs in this sort of dailies that sort of put there, but the choppiness here, we're in a region here on the 4-hourlies. We put a lower high in, lower low in, so it's really conflicting a little bit. And as I say, preference really would be to the short side on the Aussie dollar if it breaks the trend that's sitting there. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. Now, looking just briefly at the news, we do have some key news out today. Later on at 1:30, we've got the US final GDP figures coming up. There are the Eurogroup meetings still being held. I'm sure we're more likely as likely to hear some more about Greece. In the meantime, there's maybe snippets and comments coming out throughout the week on that, and the timing of that we do not know. For 9 o'clock this morning, we've got the German business climate, IFO business climate. It's not really a big mover, but in these markets we may get a bit more volatility. Okay, so that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.